great god, as they have deemed her, but still a lot of talent on the floor between the two, Mary.
But for Chicago, they have started, 4 players have started every game this year, and 1 player, Lavender, started 22 of the 23 games. So this is a major disruption. Of course, Vandersloot, one of the best point guards. Lavender traded from L.A., a huge loss. She's just been such an important person on both ends of the floor for Chicago.
And a quick cue for a Scoot Endure. Underneath, great pass underneath for her to finish at the rim.
It's just her first start of the year, her 11th game. She was at Eurobasket for quite some time, and she's just trying to get back in the flow here with the Sky.
Missed 13 games for the Sky. Her overseas obligations has returned and is a big impact so far for her team. And that was knocked out of bounds by Tierra Rutherford underneath, but Stephanie Dolson will do the honor of taking the ball out for the Sky. So Kirsten Watson was saying the success that the Sparks have found so far starts on the defensive end. Let's see if they can get a stop here. Something that Derek Fisher has continued to work on in those moments they've had practice.
Offensive foul.
And an offensive foul is called against the Sky.
31.
You just lose so much without Courtney Vandersloot. I mean, she's the quarterback of this team. She distributes the ball. She had 13 assists in the big win on the road against Vegas on Friday night. The steal there by Quigley.
And just like that, Endure once again finishing at the rim. And Quigley with the steal for Sydney Weiss, bringing the ball up the floor. We'll see a lot of that, a lot of interchanging parts for the Sparks at the point guard position. That Gumike shot, no good. And quickly rebounded by Gabby Williams.
Now the challenge for Gabby Williams running the point. Not her natural position on the season. 42 assists, 35 turnovers.
Ball is bounced around from hand to hand, but it will stay underneath for the Sky. And a reset of the shot clock to 14.
We were watching warm-ups with head coach James Wade. He said, "Where's Courtney Vandersloot? She's not out warming up." And he said, "It'll be a game-time decision. We've got her on fluids, trying to get her ready, but clearly not feeling well enough to play today."
Another attempt by Scoot, and that shot is no good. Chelsea Gray looking for some points off the penetration and off the glass, makes it count.
Gabby Williams guarding Gray there. Good size by Gabby Williams at 5'11", and a more strength than you would get with Vandersloot, but Gray, it just doesn't matter.
And a beautiful finish on the inside by Allie Quigley.
And the stunning thing about the win over Vegas on Friday, Quigley just 4 points.
How about Sydney Weiss? We talked about her from the beginning of the game. We'll hear more from her at halftime, but what she's been able to do, scoring there, she's been a threat offensively. A fake, and then a penetration on the inside by Stephanie Dolson. Pushes it back to a 4-point lead for the Sky.
For Chicago, you got to take the opportunities when they present themselves. Nice decision by Dolson.
And a rip on the inside by Gabby Williams. There are 3 blue jerseys on the other side, and Derek Fisher cannot be happy about what he's seeing from his team transition defense-wise. He's talked about it. He said we have to stay tuned. Even if we won big against them last time, you have to make sure that we stay focused because they are hungry to get the win. So there is no timeout on the floor. And the Sparks will take the ball out.
See, Coach Wade, he had his board. He was ready to start writing some things up, but he's got to be very happy with how his team has started on the defensive end, taking defense, turning it into offense.
And it's starting first with the pressure, I would say, on Chelsea Gray. A lot of pressure on Sydney Weiss at that point guard position. A lot of movement around the perimeter for the Sparks. And that 3 doesn't go down.
Mismatch inside.
Tierra Rutherford on Endure. She passes it back out to Quigley. Once again, finding a lane. But can't convert, but that is a second chance opportunity for the Sky.
Beautiful job by Nessa to come and help her teammate down low.
Leading scorer Diamond DeShields gets fouled on the 3-point shot. So we'll step up to the free throw line for 3.
A lot of fun watching Diamond DeShields play the game. Her elevation, her release in just her second year.
Mary, she's special. I remember watching her play in high school at Norcross, and she put on a show. One of those type players, the price of admission, definitely worth it. Being able to really pack out a gym.
3rd overall pick in 2018.
Last year was 2nd in scoring and 2nd in rebounds. Now you see how she's emerged and matured her game, leading this team in scoring. As that one is good for her, pushing the lead for the Sky. 4-12 here with 6:20 left in the first quarter. So a little bit of confusion on that handoff between Sydney Weiss and Candace Parker. But anything that you're seeing in particular on the offensive end for the Sparks so far?
Well, the spacing hasn't been great, and Chicago just playing aggressive basketball, physical basketball, and playing with confidence. They left Las Vegas feeling like they won a huge game, and their focus and ability to finish that game in the fourth quarter was impressive.
The last time they came to Staples Center, they lost 69-94. Biggest lead as Gabby Williams has that in the back of her mind as she drives baseline and finishes for 2. 10-point lead here for the Sky. And Gabby Williams picks up the foul there, trying to push Chelsea Gray off of the screen.
The push ahead by DeShields, a position normally we'd see Vandersloot. Nice crossover, sees the baseline, and takes advantage. So running some point, but also thinking like, I got to score as well. Nice aggressive move on Chelsea Gray, and just no help rotation there for Chelsea.
Really standing out in her start here today in the absence of Courtney Vandersloot. And that's what you're looking for from her, being aggressive and defending, 2 things that she can do very well. Alexis Jones with a hesitation move, but cannot finish at the rim.
Sinead Bumake on the floor, Maria the Diva.
Diamond DeShields, outside shot no good. And quickly, Mabry pushing the ball up the floor. A great transition defense by the Sky. Chelsea Gray lining up. Mid-range is blocked as Sinead Bumake tried to save the ball from going out of bounds, but it will go to the Sky.
Yeah, on that switch, the length of Endure just at 6'4", getting a piece of that shot by Gray.
Chelsea Gray, 0 points, and more than anything, well, 2 points for Gray, but 0 assists. One thing that each coach has told us in each game, you have to find a way to slow Chelsea Gray down. Nice ball movement by the #1 leading assist team in the WNBA.
Quigley second in the WNBA in three-point shooting. Missed that one. Mabry comes right back and misses one as well.
So it's tough shooting start for the Sparks, only shooting 20% from the field. But there is a timeout. Can they get things together? We'll find out. Welcome back to Staples Center. Sparks still trying to figure things out offensively here in the first quarter, but there you see Candace Parker, who's coming off a double-double. A great game for her in the Phoenix game, but mainly because it was the Pat Summitt tribute night. Candace Parker finished with a double-double, but spoke to the crowd after the game. Billy Moore, Ann Myers-Drysdale, and UCLA head coach Corey Close spoke on a panel afterward about Pat Summitt and her leadership, and Candace Parker was very, very adamant about preserving the legacy of Pat Summitt and everything she's meant to this game as well as her.
She meant so much to her as a player, as a person, as a mother, and she's tried to exemplify the best of Pat Summitt in the way that she's approached the game, and we've certainly seen that as the years have progressed here with the Sparks.
Great turnout.
Dolson went out hard.
Slow to get up off the floor after a tough ball, but Diamond DeShields gets the ball on the opposite side to Topper. With 2 on the shot clock. A last-second heave by Gabby Williams, no good, but the athleticism of Diamond DeShields. And finally, someone is able to clean up on the Sky's side for Cheyenne Parker.
We've talked about injuries as Dolson kind of checks the ankle. They're also missing Jamira Faulkner, a backup point guard who does some great things. She's out with concussion protocol. So a lot of what LA has gone through over the course of this season, injuries starting to pile up for Chicago.
And an offensive foul is going to go against Cheyenne Parker, trying to create some space on the inside against Shanae Gumake. Cheyenne Parker had the ball for about 10 seconds.
The ability to referee post-game, as we saw last night in Phoenix, as we saw Friday night in the game at Vegas. All the fouls that were called on Chicago, they just continued to pile up. It is tough, without a doubt, to guard fouls in Griner and Cambage.
And Dolson. James Wade said, look, she handles it with grace and has a great attitude about it, and that's why we love her as a pro. Shanae Gumake, point-blank range, but doesn't have the lift to finish. Still a 10-point lead for the Sky, but Dolson right off the leg, and it sparks ball.
Chantel Lavender traded to Chicago before the season. And as James Wade told the two of us, she's made such a difference. She pulls this team together. She's had championship experience, and the team listens to her.
8 seasons with the Sparks, WNBA sixth man in 2016, and all-star injury replacement in 2015, as there's a crowd on the floor. But who emerges? Gabby Williams is taking full advantage of this start. 12-point lead here in the first quarter for the Sky. We're listening at all to Derek Fisher. He warned his team that the Sky are going to be angry and they're going to come out. You have to play even better than what you did the first time. And we're seeing the results of that.
And we really are. Every starter has scored for Chicago. First time they've had this starting lineup this season.
Sue Endor checks in for Dolson as she's a little gimpy going off. That right arm.
Her ankle, her arm. You could see immediately reach down on the wrist. She's staying on.
A little bit of a reversal call here for the jump ball. So Dolson has to go against Shanae Gumake. You have 7 seconds on the shot clock. Just be mindful. But once again, that right arm. She's still nursing it quite a bit. Tough as nails, though.
Yeah, I do love watching her play.
Diamond DeShields rises up. That's just beautiful.
It really is. And she doesn't need a lot of space because she creates it up top.
Shooting close to 40% for the season. 14 points per game. But Masha Badiva making her presence known from the outside. We've seen a lot of the bigs for the Sparks gain some confidence on that outside shooting.
We're also seeing the confidence that Derek Fisher has in the folks on his bench. DeShields, between the legs, will cross over, rise up. That's great defense by Tierra. And then, hey, you're going to play off. She will make you pay.
With no hesitation, looking for the next pass, but you're going to play off of her? Well, she'll make you pay.
What a tremendous contest by Ruffin Pratt. Doesn't matter when you can elevate like that.
And a steal by Mabry. It'll be a foul by Copper.
Mabry has a great sense of where to be. Her spatial awareness of where the ball's going, where her defense needs to be. It's just not on the offensive end where she contributes.
And how she was able to shine in those preseason games and seeing where she could make the roster, her toughness. As Copper runs through the lane 100 miles per hour and finishes for 2.
That could be her middle name, couldn't it? 100 miles an hour. That's the way she plays. And Shanae goes down.
And that's a Chicago foul against Stu Endor, as you're looking at the still here, Mary.
Great denial by Copper. And just attacks that reversal pass. Beautiful defensive technique, and it's over when she gets it. Great speed.
So Shanae Gumake steps to the free throw line for 2. Knocks down the first one. She's shooting 82% from the free throw line, coming off of a tough game in her
Against Phoenix.
2 points against Phoenix, 1 for 4 from the field.
Spent a lot of time in foul trouble. Finished with 5 in 11 minutes.
So that free throw brings them into 11. Under 2 minutes to play here in the first quarter. And a quick turnover.
Great look.
And those are the points that the Sparks are looking for.
Run the floor. Alexis Jones does a great job of finding her.
And Alexis Jones says off the jump that Chelsea Gray has been her mentor. They played together at Duke. They were able to teach each other some things, and passing is definitely one of them. A steal underneath, and who's on the floor? Sky players, less than a minute here. Copper all the way to the rim, but cannot connect. Tiara Ruckenfrat in transition. And the 7th turnover for the Sparks. Quigley can't leave her open.
Is there a three-point contest in town?
Feels like it.
In transition.
The 2-time three-point shooting winner for the All-Star game was there again this year. She's just outstanding. You can't leave her open. Alexis Jones trying to dish it in on the inside to Chene. Instead finds Tiara Ruckenfrat. Tiara on the floor finds Maria Vadiva to the rim for 2.
Beautiful job by Vadiva. A little hard ball fake. Freeze the D. Put it on the floor.
6 on the game clock. Rise up for Johnson.
What a play at Vadiva. 6 minutes, 7 points, 3 of 3 shooting. 1 of 1 from beyond the arc.
Chloe Jackson seeing some time here in the game. Coach said, you're going to see a lot of bodies coming off of the bench for my team. Still trying to get on the scoreboard there, but Charlotte Parker at the free throw line knocks down the first one.
Just her 8th game. Only averaging 4 minutes in those games, so great opportunity.
Mabry tries to heave it for that last second shot, but that would be no good, and the Sky have the 12-point lead going into the second quarter.
A tremendous first quarter by Chicago, building off that big win over Vegas. Everyone starting has scored. LA's got some work to do coming out in the second quarter. Chicago is up. No Courtney Vandersloot, no Jantel Lavender, but hard work, hustle, and just making plays on the defensive end and turning that into points. They have LA on their heels on offense, and they have taken advantage. Quigley, Gabby Williams, and then Copper just getting on the floor, getting in a stance, and making things happen. Copper, great job there. Give it up. And let's go. Transition, points in the paint. It has been all Chicago so far in this ball game.
Absolutely, Mary. 7 turnovers for the Sparks, 13 points for the Sky off of those turnovers, and they just seem quicker to the ball. They look like it means more to them, and as you said at the top of the game, every game matters. And the Sparks definitely look to turn things around here in the second quarter as Candace Parker knocks the ball out of bounds. 11 seconds on the shot clock.
Well, Mecca has not scored. Candace Parker has not scored. And to win a ball game, that can't be.
You always look at the big 3 and what Chelsea Gray added to those names can do. A scoop from outside, that is no good. But another second chance opportunity for the Sky as Jackson comes down with the rebound. Quigley on the inside, and that's disrupted by Candace Parker with a beautiful bounce pass to Nneka Ogwumike, and that's how you get things started in the second quarter.
And Nneka, as your power forward, sprinting the floor and getting and receiving a beautiful pass from CP3.
Which is almost answered by a nice pass underneath by Quigley, but can't be finished. Candace Parker finds Sierra Ruffenpratt left all alone from the three-point line, but can't get it to fall. It's a different look for Sierra Ruffenpratt with the headband, seeing if she can continue that, because the 6 threes from her, but Candace Parker, Taneka, that's a connection.
Just a beautiful feel for the game. The strength to just one-arm that thing and put enough into the floor that you get the bounce that you want. That is beautiful basketball.
In the meantime, there is a foul called against the Sparks that's going to send Stu and Dor to the free throw line. And she knocks down her first one. That is her first made free throw on the season. We said that she missed 13 games being overseas. She looks to knock down the second one, which she does. Sydney, we still in the point guard position for the Sparks. But you can see the pressure that Chicago Sky is applying that's disrupting their offense.
They are not allowing that reversal pass. They are stepping up and out on it and putting a whole lot of pressure on those passes to initiate the offense.
Definitely working in the Chicago Sky's favor as Gabby Williams is playing her point guard position, finds Alex Quigley, no good. And if you put me on repeat, that's a second chance opportunity that leads Cheyenne Parker back to the free throw line for 2.
Cheyenne Parker off the bench has done some very good things for this team, and her role is going to continue to expand with the loss of Jantel Lavender.
Has 2 double-doubles on the season. Well, if you are a military woman or veteran, I want to let you know our community supports you. Find your safety zone at LA County MVA. To talk to a veteran service officer, call 1-800-4LA-VET. 31-17. It's been all Sky. Sparks trying to get it going here in the second quarter. We saw glimpses of it from Candace Parker getting the team involved. Another turnover there. Can't connect Chelsea Gray to Abumike.
9 turnovers for LA, and Chicago's done a terrific job. 15 points off those turnovers.
Copper with the ball. Finds a driving lane, adds a little English to it for 2. Chelsea Gray rising up for the three-point shot. And that's the bottom of the net.
Beautiful job of being in rhythm as she caught that ball and knocked it down.
James Wade was running to the officials after that take to the bucket by Copper. She was holding her neck area and quickly waved down. James Wade letting the officials know and hoping for the best, because the Sky are already shorthanded coming into this game. So the officials are going to rule this a full timeout, hoping for the best with Copper. We'll have the news coming up right after the break. Welcome back to Staples Center. What led to that timeout was a shot to the neck for Kalia Copper underneath. And from the looks that we have from the amazing people in the truck, seems like it was a friendly fire right to the neck by Stu and Dior. Candace Parker also in the area, but it just looks like Stu got her right in the neck area.
So she is on the bench. Playing well. 4 points, a rebound, making a difference out of Rutgers.
For a second, she was getting a pep talk there from Jantel Lavender, who is also in the booth.
And with a crutch. Jantel gives good pep talks.
I believe that.
Out of Cleveland, Ohio.
Oh, yeah.
Just excited to hear that you'll be heading back to Cleveland to cover the Cavs this winter.
All I ask is that she could hook me up with a hairstylist and some more places that I can get snow boots, because we all know that it snows heavily.
Heavily by the lake.
10 seconds on the shot clock for the Sky. Quigley. Cheyenne Parker with the fake. Time is not on her side. Does a little shimmy. And misses everything underneath. But another turnover for Candace Parker as she tries to get things going. But Nneka Ogwumike there to save the day. Beautiful no-look pass by none other Chelsea Gray to find Candace Parker for two.
And Parker was just hanging out, waiting for Gray to see her, and when she did, it was over.
You could say that often, waiting for Gray to see her. You always know that Chelsea Gray, even if she's not looking at you, she's just setting up the perfect pass. Diamond is Shields. Lightning fast pass on the inside, and Pierre Ruffenfrat leading the charge in transition. Finds Weiss. Weiss is short. Sparks shooting 22% from the three-point line, only 2 for 9 and 39% from the field. But they are continuing to create some ground for themselves on the boards. Candace Parker shot in and out.
Nice. Boxed out by Cheyenne Parker, so it's one and done for Los Angeles as they try to get this thing under 10.
Diamond is Shields putting the ball on the floor and create some contact underneath.
We watch this every single game. As soon as she's got her handle ready, the ball is going where it needs to go.
It's almost like you're too late. If you see where Chelsea Gray is about to pass, it's just too late if you're not in position. Chelsea Gray now with 2 assists and 5 points as Candace Parker. The foul was not against Parker, but
we are seeing Katie Lou Samuelson for the first time in this ball game, coming back from that hand injury. This is her 10th game this year. Dolson back on the floor as well.
Of course, her sister played for the Sparks after being in training camp, and then she was brought back. Carly Samuelson and was released after the full roster return for Derek Fisher.
He told us before the game that the whole family was going to be in the house. Carly, sister Bonnie, mom and dad.
Parker had 22 points, Cheyenne Parker, against Connecticut, and it's kind of tapered off since then. 22, 4, 5 points. The coach saying he wants more of her, wants more aggression from her as well. Not just on the defensive end, but putting the ball in the hole on the offensive side. Candace Parker forcing the issue, going against Cheyenne Parker. That's going to be her second personal foul as Candace Parker is going to step to the line for two, shooting 80% from the field so far. Was also the player of the week in August 5th. Obviously, we talked about her stellar performance against Phoenix, the last home game here.
Just wasn't the double-double, 12 points, 11 rebounds, but 6 assists, a block shot, all the different things she does to help this LA team as they try to make that move into a top 2 spot.
She did all the things that she needed to do for her team. You could tell she was playing for something bigger, playing for the legacy of Pat Summitt. Chelsea Gray, high arc, can't go. And Diamond Shields comes down with the rebound. Diamond Shields right at Chelsea Gray. We've said that enough. She can almost be in a category for the most charges taking in the league.
Yeah, she really does a great job of recognizing where to step up, the angle to take, and really just to hold her ground and create so it's an offensive contact and not a block.
It says a lot about your floor general when they're willing to sacrifice their bodies to get you an extra possession.
There's no doubt about that.
We've seen it for Chicago Sky, what they're willing to do, throwing their bodies on the floor, them being the first on the floor. And those plays like that from Chelsea Gray make a difference.
The tempo has improved for LA. It's kind of slowed down as far as turnovers and the up-tempo and converting and the runouts by Chicago. And Gray just kind of started to take control of the ball game. Something like that.
Finds Sydney Weiss outside for 3, doing Chelsea Gray things. First being a threat underneath.
So the 16-point lead for Chicago has melted now down to 8.
And Copper gets the foul against Tierra Rutherford, but first look at Chelsea Gray in this beautiful pass.
Just great screen by NECA. All the attention she gets, that opens up others outside.
There are 5 fouls that's against the Sparks. And Leah Copper is going to step to the free throw line once again. 11 free throws, now 12 free throws that the Sky have taken against the 4 for the Sparks.
Rutherford Pratt, 3 personal fouls. Sid Weiss has 2. Alexis Jones has 2.
So that brings Marina Mabry in the game. But you're looking at the aggression, the level of aggression that the Sky has had, which have allowed them to get to the free throw line. 20 points in the game.
13 at the line. Technical on Derek Fisher. It had to be for something he said, because he certainly wasn't romping and stomping over on that sideline. I think the worst feeling as a coach is you want to feel like you earned it, like you really said your piece. Derek's like, come on now.
So Katie Lou Samuelson was almost racing Stephanie Dolson to the free throw line as she's shooting 97% from the free throw line, but doesn't get that one to drop.
She's missed 1 free throw this season before that miss.
And there you have it. As you can see, Mary, too, entering back into the game with that tape, and she's kind of pulling at it right now after that free throw. NECA, strong take to the rim, picks up the foul. And those are the plays you need for the Sparks if you want to, especially their level of aggression getting to the free throw line.
We just haven't really seen NECA do much in this ballgame because of all the turnovers. Just 2 points on 1 of 4 shooting. She does have 5 rebounds.
She misses the first one. If you want to avoid the LA traffic this summer, go Metro to catch the LA Sparks in action, and I should have done that. Mary, the 105, I thought it was a miracle. It was so clear. And then the 110 was a complete nightmare.
Yeah, it kind of lulls you, doesn't it? It's like, oh, this is going to be great. And then,
oh, no, yeah, it was, count my chickens before they hatch. So it was bad. And I was just told that it's a Dodger home game today, but there's always an excuse with LA as the Sparks get the ball back on the sideline after a turnover by the Sky.
Chicago doing a great job of keeping this crowd out of the game. There just hasn't been enough sustained energy, sustained good things happening to really get them fired up. Maybe this will get them going.
Well, that's certainly a way to get it going. Chelsea Gray with the ball makes magic happen to Neko Gumake.
She really does.
Dolson finding Samuelson, and that's money.
It hasn't been the rookie year that she wanted, just her 4th 3, but they need her so much now. Vandersloot out. Lavender's going to be out for a while.
Another turnover for the Sparks. And Katie Lou Samuelson, seeing if she can get all the way to the rim, slowed down a bit. Copper guarded by Weiss. Finally rises up for 2 and rolls around. Finally hits the bottom of the net. And just when you think you're on a roll for the Sparks, the Chicago Sky answer.
And James Wade calls Copper his emotional leader. Good job by Weiss tracking it down.
Cheyenne Parker with the outside pressure on Candace Parker, but Candace Parker so close to finishing. And it rolls off the front of the rim. Copper finding Williams, who then finds Cheyenne Parker underneath. Great ball movement for the Sky in transition.
Gabby Williams doing her Courtney Vandersloot imitation. Head up, find your post player inside. Beautiful pass.
You're watching the film from Vandersloot. It's hard not to pick up a few things, and that they have. 9 fast break points for the Sky, and they look to keep things going here in the second.
Game where 2 Chicago players who would normally be on the bench are starting. The bench for Chicago, 21 points so far in this ball game. They've been dynamic. They've made a difference. Cheyenne Parker's got 10. Copper's got 8. Katie Lou off the bench has 3. And they have come on the floor and gotten after it.
You make a great point, Mary, just how Derek Fisher has explained how important the bench presence has been, especially in the absence of Candace Parker and Masha Badiva. He said it has to be done by committee. No points by Alexis Jones, no points by Mabry, but Masha Badiva does have 7. And so there is a 3-second defensive call, which will lead to Chelsea Gray taking the free throw.
Chicago will take that over Cheyenne Parker getting a personal foul, because that would have been her 3rd.
You see the level of which the Sky has been aggressive. 5 team fouls that are going against the Sparks. Chelsea Gray gets the ball on the baseline. Somewhat of an ISO play for her. And she gets it to fall.
She's so old school when she does that. I'm just waiting for you to do a little lean, a little something. I'm going to take advantage if I'm Chelsea Gray.
Student of the game, just waiting for that opportunity as there is an offensive foul called. And that's against Cheyenne Parker, just like that. She avoids it on one end, but doesn't waste any time for the stuff to come in as she takes the trip to the bench.
And the foul trouble for Chicago, much more impactful. No Lavender, and now in foul trouble, you've got Cheyenne Parker.
Stu Endor in for Parker. Once again, the same ISO play for Chelsea Gray off the glass. They can't get it to fall. We're at the 2-minute mark here in the second quarter before we head to halftime. Copper once again finding a lane, nothing there. And Chelsea Gray has numbers. Maybe for the outside shot, but she cannot get that one to fall, and she has been a bit streaky from the three-point line in this season. She's emerged in the last 2 games, but still trying to get it going from the outside. Gabby Williams, a lot of contact underneath, nothing called. As Parker finds the rebound, but it's nothing but blue jerseys in front of her.
She doesn't have numbers yet, but just wait. Did we run hard? Parker, great sense of timing. Wait to the flash of opening, and now the steal by NECA.
Things have changed as back-to-back buckets for the Sparks bring them into 7. As they're trying to work out a clock issue. But what a pass by Candace Parker. We think no numbers, she thinks differently.
But did you see the look to the right? She sees Reese is coming. She knows how long it's coming. Watch her. Head swivels. Boom. The ball's delivered. Beautiful job.
What a pass by Miss Parker. Showing that Chelsea Gray isn't the only one with a hot hand when it comes to passing. Less than a minute here in the first half. And there's a timeout called by the Sky.
So a game where turnovers have really made a difference. Chicago's forced 11. They have 19 points off of them. But LA has forced 11 as well. They've got 11 points off turnovers.
When you look at the Sparks in the second quarter, especially the second part of the second quarter, they seem more poised. They seem focused, and you can see even NECA Gumake just making sure everybody's on the same page. That's the Spark team that we're used to seeing when things are firing on all cylinders.
Well, whether they're up or they're down, their ability to just change the ball game, a 10-0 run, defense, get out and run, hit some shots. Chelsea Gray, one-on-one, her ability to create. Certainly not playing their best basketball, making a big dent in that lead, trying to head into halftime.
Loving the leadership that we're seeing from NECA Gumake. It's all ears from everyone else. She just doesn't speak it. She shows it on the floor as well as the Sky trying to hold on to this lead in the first half. They've been remarkable, but turnovers have crept up on them as well. You're looking at foul trouble. You've already mentioned the short bench that the Sky have.
And not surprising. You would see some turnovers without your all-star point guard, Courtney Vandersloot, who had 13 assists and just 3 turnovers against Vegas the other night.
Quigley on the sideline and a tie-up with Marina Mabry. The fiery guard, rookie guard out of Notre Dame.
She just got a level of nasty when she's playing defense that you have to love. Show her the ball. She's like, all right, I'm going for it.
And that was the question. Just would she be able to defend here in the league with the faster, quicker guards at this level? And she stepped up to the challenge.
Now, Quigley's a great example for her, what she wants to grow into as a WNBA player.
Full court pass by Candace Parker, but it's knocked out of the hands of Neko Gumake.
By Copper. What a first half by Copper.
10 points. She does have the 3 fouls, but 3 rebounds as well. And she's doing it on both ends of the floor. Less than 30 seconds here in the first half. That shot no good. But once again, the Sky, second chance opportunity. They thought it was going to be a foul call, but instead it's a traveling call against Stephanie Dolson. Sparks get the ball back with 22 seconds on the shot, on the clock.
The call a little late, but certainly it was a travel. Chelsea says, give me the ball.
Sid, you definitely get the ball in Chelsea Gray's hands, and she's grabbing for it, too. Diamond to Shields. A lot of pressure. Everyone knows what Chelsea Gray can do with the ball in her hands, especially late in the shot clock. The pressure leads to a foul. Diamond to Shields. That's going to be her second personal foul, team force.
Well, that's a challenge, isn't it, by DeShields? She was way out there saying, what you got?
Not shying away. Diamond DeShields is one of those personalities as well, like, I'm going to be in your grill. I'm going to be all in your face.
In the first meeting, both teams hit 10 threes. So far in this game, the 3-ball hasn't been that big a factor. 3 of 13 is L.A., 2 of 10 is Chicago.
Well, what's standing out for Chicago as well is the 12 for 14, 85% that they're shooting from the free throw line. They've been able to be aggressive in that. 21 bench points and 9 fast break points. But we've seen in the second quarter how the Sparks love doing some fast break as well. Candace Parker said that's our favorite offense. We've seen a little bit more of that, and her in the charge of that in a few plays.
Lead by Chicago as much as 16, and L.A. has battled back on 2 separate occasions. And they got it to within 7.
We're waiting for both teams to come back to the floor. The Sky get the ball back.
First-year head coach James Wade. He's doing a terrific job. Derek Fisher, terrific job as well.
Chicago already matching the number of wins they had last season. Immediately, inbounds play straight to Neko Gumake, and you can call her the answer. Diamond to Shields, last second heave, almost takes out the shot clock. But nonetheless, the Sky do have the lead going into the second half, 39-44. And it's been remarkable. The Sky had the lead the entire time, but the Sparks had to battle back in that second quarter. And it looked pretty decent.
They did. They finished on a 12-0 run. A great job deciding by Sid Weiss.
All right, let's find out what Derek Fisher has to share with Kirsten Watson.
Thanks, Angel. Coach, a bit of a slow start, but momentum is changing. What did you tell your team after the first quarter?
Just to keep playing. You know, this is good for us to go through some early adversity in the game. We've been ahead a lot of games lately, and it's good for us to experience having to work from behind.
Now the momentum is coming. How do you continue this in the second half?
Well, I think one possession at a time has to be the mentality. We can't get all 5, 6, or 12 points back in one possession. One possession at a time, smart offensively, solid defensively, and work the game.
Thanks, Coach.
Makes sense. One possession at a time. Let's see if the Sparks can get things going in the second half. That will do it for the first half, though, with the score 44-39. Make sure you don't go anywhere. We'll be back with interviews, highlights, stats, and more right after the break. Welcome back. Well, the first half highlights go to both teams' unsung hero. We're going to start off with Chicago Sky and what they've been able to do with Copper stepping in, taking the challenge.
Yep, she played 12 minutes off the bench, 8 points, 2 steals, 2 rebounds, making things happen in a myriad of ways. Find an angle, attack the bucket, assess the defense, go left, nice pull-up. Difference maker. The bench has been huge for Chicago.
Definitely setting the tone for her team. Coach said she would do it, but for Sydney Weiss, she's done the exact same thing for the Sparks. You see the level of aggression she has in the first.
Yeah, just not a three-point shooter anymore. The drive there. Great decision to pass the neck out of bounds. And then always be ready. The pass is delivered. Bottoms up by Sid Weiss.
Looking at the stats, the Sky had a 16-point lead in the first half, but the Sparks' 24 points in the second quarter really brought things back in together. What's standing out to you that happened in the second quarter?
The play of Neko Glumake. The only shot she missed was a free throw. 4 for 4, 9 points, 5 rebounds, all in the second quarter.
Well, that would definitely bring your team into good standing. You would have to say halftime is halftime for both teams to get back to the drawing board, but the momentum is certainly shifting towards the Sparks side.
Oh, they finished on a 12-0 run. It's a big, big lead by Chicago. And I love Derek Fisher's comments to Kirsten heading off the floor, and that is, we've been up a lot. It's good for us to experience this. I mean, it's like everything is part of the education of getting us in position, the LA Sparks in position for the playoffs.
And working from behind is something we're not used to doing, but we accept the challenge. Let's see how they respond out of the gate here in the second half. Diamond to Shields. To Quigley for 3, and that's short. But the first possession for the Sky, they get a second chance opportunity. But fortunately, Quigley doesn't knock down that 3.
Not accustomed to seeing Quigley struggle like this from beyond the arc. Just 1 of 6 in this ball game.
But she gets that one to go off of a turnover. Just a miscommunication. The ball was headed towards Sydney Weiss, and she was pointing across the floor.
Quigley was 0 for 2 in Vegas.
Seven-point game. Chelsea Gray to the rim. Wanted the and one, but that'll do it.
It doesn't matter who you put on her. I mean, Gabby Williams, outstanding defender, strong, maybe even a little taller than Gray. Can't stop it.
Ball inside to Dolson, and she finds Quigley again. He's trying to see if she can get that one to go, and does. Pushing it to an 8-point lead for the Sky.
Shooters don't stop shooting, and Quigley and her teammates know she's got to get it going for them to win a ball game here today.
You mentioned Chelsea Gray, and there's not much you can do to prevent her from scoring. Quigley, another one of those players. Anybody else stand out to you?
Well, I just think as a team and the bench for Chicago, everyone really contributing on a day without Lavender and without Vandersloot.
Neko Glumake inside for 2. And last possession for the Sparks.
Speak of absences, Elena Beard has not played in this game. We saw her warming up quite a bit before the game, but has yet to appear. Still questionable.
7 games that Elena Beard has missed. The leg injury as well as the hamstring. A dive on the inside by Neko Glumake, but she can't connect. Gabby Williams all the way to the rim, but that's an offensive foul, and she slams the ball on the floor. Her dismay for the call.
And guess who? Again, stepping up. You know, the player is coming at you, and they are coming hard. And she gets in position and handles it.
It's something to keep your eye out on, Mary. Coming up from that charge, Chelsea Gray was holding her arm and still is after that charge call. Sydney Weiss gathers herself, They're falling on the floor with the ball. Chelsea Gray. A little bit too much on that pass to Nekalumake, and that sails out to the Chicago Sky bench.
Well, coaches talk a lot about playing defense with your feet. You could see Chicago playing defense with their hands up in the air, trying to take away the passing lane for Gray.
You have to do that. That has to be on the scouting report because she'll make you pay if your hands are down. Turnover at the top of the key for the Sky, but before Tierra Rutherford could get the ball out of her hands, there's a foul on the play, and that's going to go against Stu Endure, and that's her second.
Aggressive defense by Tierra Ruffin-Pratt. James Wade wants a foul called. Play on.
And are you surprised when she says the biggest reason she signed the contract with the Sparks is the mentorship from Elena Beard? We know how solid and efficient she is on the defensive end, racking up awards in the league for Defensive Player of the Year. A lot of contact on the inside with Nekalumake and Stephanie Dolson.
Beard on the bench. She worked out hard before the game. Myriad of shots. In L.A., and as well as they played defense, you take the best defensive player in the league the last 2 years out of your lineup. It's a lot to overcome.
But kudos to both teams, honestly, when you're looking at what the Sparks have been able to do. Low on numbers and big names. It doesn't matter. Another turnover by Chelsea Gray. And Diamond DeShields, 0 to 100. And picks up the foul. Candace Parker trying to figure things out, but who likes the foul that goes against them?
Nobody. Boy, that gear just puts a little extra on it, and the ability to get ahead of Parker on that creates the contact.
The last time Chicago stepped in the Staples Center, James Wade told us, I think that people don't understand how athletic Diamond DeShields is. Not only that, how coachable she is. And every day after practice, she's the last one shooting, and she's also asking us to watch film to see why she's found success in the second year of her career. So 43-50 Sky. No lead changes in this game. Beautiful pass by Candace Parker that finds Chelsea Gray diving to the rim.
The beauty of the high post passer and making that little backdoor cut is Gray.
Marion, it comes down to another second chance opportunity underneath. Sydney He's slow to get up on the baseline. But Candace Parker once again called for the personal foul, and that's going to be her third.
Sid Wees took a blow to the middle.
Still a bit out of breath. You can see her at the bottom of your screen.
She got the elbow of DeShields into her middle.
Looked like Stu, if I'm not mistaken, whoever elbow it was, that's a lot of power going back up for that free throw as well. This is the second one. Becca Gumake comes down with the ball, and that's her 9th rebound. Just needs one more to get in that double talk. Diamond DeShields, a lot of pressure. We've seen her on Tierra Rutherford. We've seen her on Chelsea Gray, and she hasn't slowed down defensively.
Third player for Chicago with their third foul. DeShields, Dolson, Cheyenne Parker. The game really changed when Cheyenne Parker got that third personal foul towards the end of the second quarter.
Playing in the passing lanes once again, and Diamond DeShields back-to-back. Well, actually, a Stu Endure. And that's going to be her third as well. So, Marion, 4 players for the Sky with 3. And the next Sky foul is going to go against, or for the Sparks, they step up to the line for free throws.
With 6 minutes still to go in the quarter. So, for Chicago, you got to play smart because you'll put Los Angeles into the bonus in a hurry.
only a 6-point game, 2-possession game, and make it 1 possession with that beautiful outside shot for Chelsea Gray.
Derek Fisher talked about it at half. 1 step at a time. We can't get it all back in 1 or 2 plays.
1 possession. Sky with 9 on the shot clock. Bullet pass on the inside. Chelsea Gray finds a way to save the ball. And here come the Sparks. And here comes Chelsea Gray. But cannot connect. The crowd was waiting for that ball to drop, as that would have been the first time it was tied in this game.
The crowd is back into it.
There's Stu from outside. That is no good. And that's a double-double for Nneka Ogwumike with her 10th rebound.
11 points and 10 rebounds.
Still working around. Candace Parker trying to see if she can get something on the inside. And Sparks happy that went off the foot of Diamond DeShields, because that was going to go the other way. Blue jerseys all in the paint.
One of the things that's fun to watch when you watch the Sparks is how much they communicate with each other. Nneka turns and talks to Chelsea, and the communication of where we need to go, what needs to happen, just ongoing over the course of a game.
Derek Fisher told Kirsten Watson the same thing as Candace Parker finished underneath for 2. Beautiful baseline move.
She has such a great feel for that.
But Derek Fisher was saying, I think my team at this point in the season, they just know each other better. As Quigley,
tough shot,
taking matters into her own hands.
She's got 12.
53-50 for Sky, as Nneka Ogwumike quickly finds some space on the inside to rise up for 2.
And when you take care of the basketball, you start feeling like yourself again.
Great help defense by Nneka Ogwumike, but there's not much you can do when Diamond DeShields creates that space.
She's fun to watch, isn't she?
I mean, that's not a person I'd want to guard. Beautiful in and out by Chelsea Gray. You know who to get the ball to.
You don't want to guard her either, Angel.
I don't want to guard anybody on the floor right now. 1-point game. This third quarter, everything we were expecting it to be. Quigley off the glass. And pumping up her team, saying, let's go, as Derek Fisher calls a timeout.
Candace Parker back healthy, playing well, does such a great job of getting people involved. Here, it's all Candace. Back to the basket, find some space and explode. And then Chelsea Gray, offense time, LA making the push. Chelsea Gray in her 5th year. We think of her as a point guard, but she can play off guard as well. Here, Weiss with the setup on the little fade, little backdoor cut, move well without the basketball delivered, and then, yeah, I can create for myself as well. Off the handoff from Nneka. Once again,
Chelsea,
so many different ways she can hurt you.
Chelsea Gray had 8 first half points. Mary, third quarter, she's sitting at 9. It's the Chelsea Gray show when it comes down to what she's able to do for this team. Not just what she's able to do offensively, Mary, but we've seen her come up with some key charges as well.
And she has now passed 1,500 points in her 5-year career. Many more points to come. Nneka, 11 double-doubles this season.
After only having 5 last season, Chelsea Gray rises up with 5 on the clock. And you can continue to watch her work.
And Angel, you mentioned it. LA has never led. They're getting closer.
Diamond from the outside, off to the right. Sydney Weiss tracks it down. Her in and out, then finds Nneka Ogwumike, turns down the 3-point shot. But that misses everything underneath. I don't know if she was trying to connect to Chene. Just a bad pass underneath.
Haven't seen the Ogwumike's on the floor a whole lot in this ball game. Chene, this is her 7th minute of play.
You're looking at the front court for the Sparks. Only 6 minutes for Masha Vadiva, 7 minutes for Chene.
A lot of quality post players for the LA Sparks. And when you're healthy, Derek Fisher now has the luxury of trying to decide who's playing and who's not. Kalani Brown did not play against Phoenix. We haven't seen her yet today. So the depth, impressive for LA in the front line.
Front line as well as the back court. Raquana Williams still out after serving the 10-game suspension from the league. Has 4 left. Foul on the play, and that's going to go against Shanae Agumake, which is her first, but also something to keep your eye out on for team fouls for the Sparks. Nice take to the basket by Diamond DeShields. She's calling her own number, getting to the rim. She's a leading scorer for this team for a reason, finding ways and seams.
Well, she took it hard right. You could see Nneka step out and say, we got to bring some help to DeShields. So she switches, goes the other direction, and creates the contact.
Rising up over about 3 Sparks players, but the level of athleticism that she has, she can do things like that.
Just a second-year player, leading scorer, 6 rebounds a game, 2.5 assists, almost a steal and a half a ball game. Bright future for Chicago.
An all-star for this year, as well as a skills champ after going to Vegas and taking that trophy away. Chelsea Gray all the way to the rim, and it can't be cleaned up by Shanae. Gabby Williams in her point guard position, forcing the issue in transition.
Charge.
But another charge call. This time, it's picked up.
But you read the scouting report, you know there's not going to be a pull-up. She puts her head down, and she is going. And Shanae steps up and takes a tough charge. That's a lot of contact. Nneka taking the charge.
So you see them from Chelsea, you see them from Nneka. 3-point game. You can either tie here. Empty position for the Sparks. And poke from behind for TRP. We're at the 2-minute mark here in the third quarter. 20 on the shot clock. The player that the Sparks have been able to pull down just a bit is Copper, as Cheyenne Parker is looking to penetrate on the inside and once again steps up to the free throw line.
It's an interesting game for Chicago because they did this to Las Vegas as well. They went out to a big lead, and then the Aces came blasting right back, and they fought them off in that fourth quarter. LA has done the same. They dug the hole, 16 points down, and they're fighting back as well.
Cheyenne Parker doing what she does best, is perfect from the free throw line, knocking down 7. She's a 90% free throw shooter. And is finding her success at the line today.
Correction on the last foul. It's called on number 13, Shanae.
Godiva comes in. Nneka sits.
So Parker remains perfect from the line, going 8 for 8. Pushing her to 12 points and 3 rebounds. And that was a quick one as Copper looking to the bench like she wanted that call all day as Masha Vadiva comes up with a foul. That's going to be her first personal foul.
LA was knocking on the door. They were within 1 point, and Chicago able to maintain that lead and then build it back up.
Still a 2-possession game. Cheyenne Parker once again, but great defense for Vadiva. But somehow, the Sky, once again, come up with the ball. 7 on the shot clock. Gabby Williams rises up. Third attempt, no good. And Chelsea Gray comes up with the ball. Hesitation move, rise and fade away. No good for Chelsea Gray. As Diamond DeShields working it. Finding Copper, but poked from behind by Alexis Jones. With less than a minute here in the third quarter, Alexis Jones, Vadiva. Diamond to Shields wasting no time but misses all of the rim. Chelsea Gray advances it up the floor. Seeing if she can get Chene underneath, but a block by Astu. So a lot going back and forth for both teams, not coming up with any points.
And Chelsea Gray will sit for the final 36.5 seconds of this quarter and rest for the fourth. It's going to be a great finish.
As well as Astu Endure for the Sky. TRP, her shot is no good. Diamond to Shields with the ball. Finding Cheyenne Parker underneath. That shot is no good. A little too hard on the left side. And the Sparks will no doubt settle for the last shot of the quarter.
Spreading the floor, and here comes Chene for the high post screen.
5. Alexis Jones. No basket, but she does pick up the foul. Have to love the confidence that she has with her ability to just get the ball in her hands, especially missing a few games at the beginning of the season with that knee injury.
It's interesting that this is just her 11th game of the season. And really, of late, has been making a big impression when she's on the floor.
Her 8th and 9th free throw of the season as Tia Ruppergrat is heading to the bench. Sydney Weiss checks in.
Valuable minutes against Phoenix. 14 minutes, 7 points, 2 rebounds, 3 assists.
And off the last bucket, Masha Vadiva in the right place at the right time to clean up, to bring it back to 2 points.
LA keeps crawling closer. Beautiful backdoor pass as LA has cut the big lead by Chicago. Come back for the fourth. It's going to be a good one.
Welcome back. Well, Mary, we know it's that time of the year where you're really looking at how you're going to finish, especially trying to get in that top 8, and most teams trying to see if they can get top 2, top 4. And after this updated standings list, the Mystics had a big win, 101-78 over Minnesota, and the Storm 84-69 over New York. But what are you seeing in the standings here?
Well, if LA wins this ball game, they'll stay in 3rd. Chicago will stay in 5th. But if Chicago can beat Los Angeles today, they will move into a 3rd-place tie with Las Vegas. And LA drops to 5th. A lot at stake, and it's like playoff basketball already.
Well, there is a game between the Vegas Aces as well as Connecticut right now. And that's still going on there in the second quarter, 30-32. And the Aces are up in that one, so that's definitely one to keep your eye out on when this one concludes. Masha Vadiva all the way to the rim and gets the bucket.
Vadiva, double figures in 8 minutes of play. 5 of 6 from the floor. She's knocked down a 3. Puts it on the floor. All that strength to split that double team and help.
We have the first tie of the game, and with this free throw, not to jinx anyone, but it could also be the Sparks' first lead. And Masha Vadiva gets the one. Chicago was up by as much as 16 in the first half, and here come the Sparks.
Well, you talk about instant offense and impact off the bench. Masha Vadiva.
Off the fingertips of Masha Vadiva for the rebound. Ball finds Quigley on the baseline. 6 on the shot clock. A lot of bodies around, and there's that Sparks defense. Pull up by Maria Mabry.
And the crowd is into it. The bench is into it, and it's a different ball game.
Stop and score. Beautiful 2 possessions for the Sparks. Copper working the baseline, finds some space, but doesn't get the bucket.
What space? And how did she get by Chene on that baseline? The LA defense, Quigley, double team. Chene with the rip, and now we're off to the races. Line it up, Mabry. In transition, she knows what she wants to do.
Money Mabry for the deep three in transition. Most would say that's not the shot you're looking for. With her, she's looking for it every single time. Costly turnover for the Sparks. That was going to be their 18th turnover. But from what we were seeing in the first half, actually the Sky have more turnovers than the Sparks. Williams outside for three. That's off the back iron.
And Angel, what do you think of the big lineup when you've got Parker, the diva, and Shanae on the floor at the same time?
Alexis Jones, dime pass to Shanae Ogwumike. She's wishing she could get that one back as she can't connect. And Diamond to Shields. There was nothing else Alexis Jones could have done.
No, she's just that good.
I mean, hand in the face, up in her face, everything that you could possibly do as a defender. But Diamond to Shields is just so solid. Scoring.
Moving screen on the diva.
So that's going to be her second personal foul. As the Sparks have a 1-point lead here in the fourth quarter. So this should be an exciting quarter. A little under 8 minutes left in the ballgame.
Chicago trying to figure it out without Courtney Vandersloot. Of course, starts every game, plays about 30 minutes a game, and Mabry.
Mabry's showing everyone a lot about what she's demanding of herself on the defensive end.
Yeah, you show her the ball, she's going to take it away from you and contest it.
And we saw what she could do against the Seattle team. She just has that attitude of, not on me. 8 on the shot clock for the Sky. They get the ball to Diamond to Shields. And immediately a moving screen called at the top of the key on Stephanie Dolson. Stephanie Dolson now has 5 fouls.
And if you're Dolson, the last place you want to be right now is sitting on the bench because of a moving screen.
Well, that'll bring Cheyenne Parker back in the ball game.
No Lavender, and now no Dolson.
How long do you think she'd sit out, just with the game as tight as it is? A lot on the line.
That's right. But I think a lot of it depends on how Cheyenne Parker does out there.
The forward for the Sparks chasing the ball down. 10 on the shot clock. And a 3-second violation is going to go against Shanae Ogwumike.
20th turnover for Los Angeles. They only average 14.5 a game, so well above their average.
Williams working baseline, finds Topper. Misses everything, falls right into the hands of the diva. Chelsea Gray in and out between the legs, and she misses everything as well. And we're looking at the flow of the game right now. I know there's a lot on the line, 1-point game, but I'm seeing anything both sides offensively.
Well, I think for Derek Fisher, he says it is now time to get Nneka back on the floor, so Chanae will sit. So now the diva, Nneka, and Candace all on the floor. Well, Nneka's quite on the floor yet.
So we will see if that's a big sub. Quigley with 10 on the shot clock. Cheyenne Parker trying to work her guard. Handles, but kicks the ball out of bounds. So it's Sparks ball.
So the diva will sit.
Nneka Ogwumike having an outstanding performance in today's matchup, but that's, of course, what she does. Was the July Player of the Month, averaging a double-double. Chelsea Gray finds Candace Parker underneath, and she picks up the contact against the Stu Endure.
Just a beautiful job by by Candace in the high post. Kind of leaning, pushing, just clearing that space. So when the pass came in, she had lots of room to catch and go.
Most players, you gotta love when they create that no move needed at the rim, and they're doing all their work early in order to make possession a lot easier when they get the ball. As she knocks down her first free throw, 80% so far in the season. We already mentioned how she's dropped 20 pounds to get back to Candace Parker. She has been phenomenal, showing us everything that she has been in her career. Quigley finds some space on the three-point line and gets the foul from the outside, Marina Mabry.
Coming into this afternoon, both teams so hot. LA had won 10 of 12. Chicago had won 7 of 8.
And the Sparks winning 7 at home, seeing if they can push it to 8 and see if they can hold off the Sky. Welcome back to Staples Center. As you can see, the Sparks huddle trying to get things together. And they were also reviewing the last play, seeing if Quigley had a foot on the line. But there's a lot been going on in this fourth quarter. We've talked about so many things. Nneka, we've talked about Shanae, we've talked about Sydney Weiss, but Masha Fadiva has stepped up in her own right.
In just her 5th game of the season after coming back from a knee injury and Eurobasket, she is putting a big hurt on this game. 12 points on 5 of 6 shooting, 5 rebounds, and Angel, all of that in just 11 minutes of play.
So efficient. 5 for 6 from the field, Mary. I mean, she's one of the 3 players right now that are in double figures for the Sparks. We're used to seeing, Chelsea Gray and Candace Parker and Nneka Ogwumike. That's the 3-headed monster for the Sparks. But Masha Fadiva saying, I'm back and I'm ready to play.
And just 21 years old and a bright, bright future with the LA Sparks.
Quigley is stepping to the line for 2, so that last foul on Marina Mabry was not from the three-point line, but very, very close. To your point, Mary, I talked to Masha at practice. She said, I'm still trying to get back into shape. It's looking like things are trending in the right direction for the 21-year-olds.
What a great thing to be able to bring into the ballgame. You already have a dynamic front court, and now you're able to bring one of the great young players in the world out of Russia.
Well, that's why a lot of players, a lot of analysts, and a lot of coaches are saying this Sparks team is simply scary. Parker isolated on the baseline against a Stu, and that's blocked. Great defense by the Sky.
Boy, that's where you miss Vandersloot. She would have found the shields on that. Quigley's been open a couple times. The ball hasn't been there where it normally would. So the team trying to figure it out without their all-star point guard, who's not playing today because of the flu.
And Gabby Williams trying to get things going offensively. But one way to do it is being aggressive at the rim, and Cheyenne Parker cleans it up underneath for the N1. That's going to go against Chelsea Gray, which is going to be her first personal foul, but what a shot by Cheyenne Parker to tie things up 67 here in the fourth.
And surrounded by Sparks players and still able to get it done. Doing a great job getting to the line.
And the only missed free throw for Cheyenne Parker on the day.
She's only missed 6 all season long.
Candace Parker misses the outside shot. And Nneka Ogwumike misses the underneath. And a turnover by Chelsea Gray.
Boy, folks are flying around today.
Gabby Williams all the way to the rim. There was nothing there as Candace Parker was pinned underneath. And there was nothing she could do to stop the speed of Gabby Williams. So Sky with the lead here with 2. Diamond DeShields picks up her 4th personal foul.
Well, no surprise. I mean, she's been spending a lot of time guarding Chelsea Gray. Did a great job trying to get over that screen, but tough thing to do without fouling.
Chelsea Gray waiting on the screen from Nneka Ogwumike. Falls awkwardly underneath, but not before she finds TRP with the headband for 3. Well, they said call her headband T.
Come on now.
It worked for her in Atlanta when she knocked down 6 3-pointers. Let's see if she can get it going. But Cheyenne Parker with the answer.
Hey, Chicago is not and will not be going away. We saw that in the fourth quarter at Vegas.
Once again, lining up. And the headband doesn't bring the same result. Kaneko Gumake finds Chelsea Gray for 3. And that's short. Underneath, there is a call, and every person is off the bench for the Chicago Sky. But the ball is going to stay with the Sparks. As Candace Parker is trying to explain what was happening on the opposite side underneath.
14 for second personal foul. 14 foul. Still Sparks ball.
You see an entire team and bench react that way very often.
That was a great reaction. TRP to Gumake 4 on the shot clock, all the way to the rim. Count it.
Boy, that's just one of those I'm Mecca and you're not moves.
It's a great way to put it. Not much you can do. Another double-double for Nneka Ogwumike. And another take to the lane
with the
by
left.
Simon DeShields.
TRP. She has got a toughness about her.
Beautiful pass by Chelsea Gray, which leads to Tiara Ruffin-Pratt finishing on the opposite side. And that's a work of art in transition.
Pass delivered, never puts it on the floor, and the finish as you're flying to the other side.
So what led to that? Chelsea Gray doing Chelsea Gray things as TRP knocks down the free throw. 19 points for Chelsea Gray, 6 assists.
We are under 3 minutes, and it is a 1-point game.
Quigley opened briefly underneath, but there's a foul on the play, a moving screen for Cheyenne Parker, and that's one that she was very upset about, as Quigley could have knocked that one down, but James Wade is very upset, irate indeed, with the last call for fouls. Well, this has been a tight one here in the fourth. All the energy you want is right here in Staples. Make sure you return. Well, welcome back. There was a lot of action going on right before the break. And if you're looking at the top of your screen, you're looking at Cheyenne Parker, who picks up that offensive foul on the moving screen. Clean, not short, not either way. A huge shift as Allie Quigley knocked it down, but it will not count in. As expected, James Wade fuming.
And a little move from right to left. Parker now with 5 personal fouls. Dolson with 5. And James Wade, fortunate to be a long way from the officials, as he was out on the floor and demonstrably upset.
That call could have gone either way, but Quigley in the passing lane. And just like that, the Sky regained the lead with that turnover.
Turnovers have played a big role in this ballgame. LA, 22 turnovers, 28 Chicago points off of them.
Sparks season high is 26, as you said, 22 today. They need every single possession towards the end of the game as Cheyenne Parker comes out and Gabby Williams is like, I'm here, calm down, I got it. Approaching the 2-minute mark here in the fourth. Sky up 1. Quigley lets it fly, and that is the Quigley that everyone in the league knows, draining it from 3.
The layup and then the 3. 20 points for Quigley.
Just like that, makes it a 2-possession game. She scored in back-to-back possessions as there's a turnover for the Sparks. We mentioned it before. Turnover's a big deal in this game for both teams. The Sparks need to hold on to the ball.
Huge deal. And then you think about the free throws. 19 to 25, Chicago as well. Allie Quigley, one of the best The fade, the step up, her feet are always ready. Courtney Vandersloot not on the floor to get it to her, but her teammates finding her there.
James Wade said it's like watching water flow as Chelsea Gray has some water and some drip on her own. And what a big shot, bringing it back to 1 point. Here in the fourth quarter, 1:20 left in the game. Parker for a big 2 on the inside. Folks are approaching the 1 minute mark as Chelsea Gray rises up 15-footer. You know who to get the ball to.
Oh, just a great decision. Cheyenne Parker had switched out on her. In under 2 minutes, ball game on the line. You know Gray's the money ball.
Less than a minute, 14. Quigley smothered by Sydney Weiss. Avoiding the screen finds Gabby Williams.
5 seconds on the shot clock.
Diamond to Shields trying to find someone. 1 on the shot clock, and they will not get the ball off in time. That is a shot clock violation and another turnover for the Sky.
And that is their 25th turnover. LA, outstanding defense.
Timeout by the Sparks. A lot of discuss. Quigley, 5th 20-point game of the season, coming up huge in the absence of Vandersloot. But for both sides, for the Sparks pushing back after that 16-point deficit, and the Sky saying, we're coming here to get the W.
Exactly what they did at Las Vegas. LA, a lot of scorers on the floor. The ability to spread the floor, distributors. Of course, we'd expect Gray to have the ball in her hands.
Well, when we were speaking to James Wade before the game, he said the most improvement and maturity that he's found in his team is in the fourth quarter, and how they've been able to keep things and play through, especially in that AC's game. But first, let's look at Chelsea Gray. Those last 2 buckets. This is clutch herself.
And we have come to expect this. Little step from right to left for 3. And then attack Cheyenne Parker off the dribble, finds some open space, and knocks down another big shot.
Will she have another one? Sparks down right now by 1. 38 on the game clock. Fresh shot clock for the Sparks as they get the ball on the side, on their side of the court. Sydney Weiss will be in charge of taking the ball out. And as expected, they get the ball to Chelsea Gray. Chelsea working all the way to the rim. Doesn't get a call, but she does. And she's holding her face underneath. I think she's more upset she didn't get the call. But taking some time to get up, she's grabbing the back of her head.
Nneka, it is so maternal. The drive, and then hits the ref on the back or the front of his leg.
Well, Chelsea Gray stepping up to the free throw line for only her second and third free throws of the day. First one is money.
9,244 standing.
Big one as she steps up, and Copper takes a seat on the bench as Quigley steps back in the game.
LA just 2 team fouls, so they have a foul to give.
Miss Clutch knocks it down.
The last 7 points scored by Chelsea Gray. And Chelsea Gray is trying to argue that they advanced it. Playing the role of official as well. Doing it all,
right? Trying to get things figured out. We don't have an official word of what the officials are looking at that led to this timeout on the floor. But while they're trying to go over that, there is a full timeout. Let's go ahead and dive into the upcoming schedule for the Sparks. See their Wednesday Dallas Wings before they see Chicago Sky. That's 2 meetings they'll have within a week of playing one another.
And that Chicago game always so big for Candace Parker as she returns home to the Chicago area. And then you're home for 3 as you're in the stretch run. 11 games left for Los Angeles, 6 at home, 5 on the road, and they will finish the season with 3 straight home games.
Well, this will be fun. That means I get to see more of you, Mary.
Exactly right.
Sit next to you and see some more Sparks basketball, which has been so entertaining, especially in this game. Less than 30 seconds in the ball game. 1-point game. Night and day for the Sparks. First half to second half.
And so important. A win here in the final 29.5. LA remains in 3rd place and improves their record. A loss, they drop to 5th. Every game so important down the stretch.
A game and a half for the 3 and 4 out of the first place. And you saw Chicago with that 2 games where every game matters. Every single game. And for them to already take down Vegas, they had a great showing against New York as well. And to come into Staples Center and give the Sparks everything they got, we'll see how this one finishes out.
With no Vandersloot and no Lavender.
And no Jamira Faulkner, who's a true vet for their team. Gabby Williams guarded by Chelsea Gray.
Boy, everybody finding Quigley. 3rd person that's been matched up with her.
Rises up for 3. That shot is no good. And it's tapped out to Chelsea Gray. Chelsea Gray leads up to Candace Parker, and there's no call. Who's underneath? Neko Gumake, and who's on their feet? Every single person in the building.
Move the basketball. Find the open player. LA down 16 in this ball game. Find it away.
What a rebound. It mattered most in that moment. The Sky, 35 rebounds for them to the Sparks 33. But that one that was tipped out to Chelsea Gray meant the most.
The miss by Quigley. They can't corral it, and no fouls. Playing keep away. Went for the ball there instead of the foul, and it is Nneka with the finish.
Nneka Ogwumike, 17 points, 12 rebounds. We saw her in the huddle, getting her team together, corralling them and saying, this is what we need to do. Everyone was all ears, and since that point, they have been on a surge, and we'll see if they can close it out. Still a 3-point game. The Sky get the ball back, but there will be a timeout called for the Sky. And keep your eyes peeled as Katie Lou Samuelson will be checking in. And we know how efficient she is from 3.
Just another terrific game by Chelsea Gray. 26 points, 4 rebounds, 6 assists. And of the last 9 points, 7 by way of Chelsea Gray.
Are you shocked? I'm not shocked. I mean, Chelsea Gray.
That's what she does.
Did she find an answer on how they were defending her, or was it more so just after a certain amount of time, Chelsea just needs those moments to shine?
So it'll be interesting to see how Derek Fisher decides to play this. Will he foul? He's got a foul to give. The most important thing for LA, take away the 3-point shot.
Has a couple fouls to give here. And as expected, they're playing the 3-point line, but there's a foul on the play, a blocking call. But as we said, it's the 4th team foul.
Chicago does not have a timeout left. Your quarterback's not on the floor. Vandersloot, so you got to figure this out.
Gabby Williams has been able to hold her own in the spot. Gets it to Quigley inside. 3 on the game clock. Rises up. Hits every part of the rim but the one that matters. And just like that, the Sparks escape with the win here at home by 3 and extend their home win streak to 8.
LA survives and moves to 9-2 at home, 15-8 on the season. But what an effort by Quigley and the Chicago squad team. In and out, trying to send this game to overtime.
Mary, if you saw the expressions from the Sparks bench, everyone took a sigh of relief, and that's a complete mood. Looking at how tight this game has been, what a performance by the Sky, but didn't have enough to escape here with a win. But the Sparks did what they needed to do in the second half in order to finish for their 8th game in a row here at home. For Mary Murphy and Kirsten Watson, I'm the Angel Gray saying so long from Staples Center, where the final score